Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 13th of December 2022. An article caught my eye this morning over breakfast. The implications of this data are enormous, is how it starts. So you can see why that caught my eye. In a new peer-reviewed study published in the BMJ Journal of Medical Ethics, researchers performed a risk-benefit assessment and ethical analysis using data from, well, it lists a few of the main treatment companies, so it's their own facts, and the CDC. The findings were, and then it goes into various facts and figures. I won't go into them all, but you can see this on my Telegram channel. I've pinned it, or I will be pinning it on there. So you can go in there and check out the whole study if you like. But the most salient figures are, for every lurgy hospitalisation averted, there would be 18.5 serious events, shall we call them. This is referring to younger people and to the rooster boosters. And the conclusion, researchers concluded that rooster booster mandates in young adults are expected to cause a net harm. Well, that is amazing. That is coming from hard facts from a mainstream or fairly mainstream publication. So what an admission that is, eh? And then it goes on to say, whichever side of this debate you sit on, this data is scandalous. And mainstream media should be all over this story, which of course begs the question, why aren't they?
So I'm out and about now and it's still snowy. As you can see from this footage, just driving along, it does look very, very pretty, doesn't it? When you've got the snow sitting on the hedges and the trees like that. Absolutely beautiful. And outside my house, we've got this little hill you have to go up every time you want to come in and out of the close. And if you looked at it in normal conditions, you'd think it's nothing. It's only about 50 yards long and it's not steep at all. I can easily cycle up it on my bike in moderately high gear, so it's nothing really, but lots and lots of people struggle getting up and up it to get out of the close. There was a lady stuck yesterday, and so we had to go out and help get out of there. And then some neighbours and I started clearing this hill. Just, you don't have to do much digging, but just a bit of snow clearing and then a bit of rock salt thrown down to sort the problem. But it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's only when you get snow or something like that that these days you get talking to neighbours and and doing things with them, kind of pitching in and getting things done when they need to get done. So our friend Elon Musk has been in the news quite a lot over the last few days, hasn't he? He's been coming out with what some people would regard as pretty controversial tweets, hasn't he? I think, first of all, there was this guy who was asking, when are we going to see revelations about all of the lurgy censorship? People, even very qualified people, being shut down on Twitter. And Elon Musk himself came back to the guy and replied something along the lines of, "Oh, it's coming big time." So I thought that was an interesting tweet. And another one that he made, which is the more controversial one, he said, "My pronouns are prosecute/Fauci." And then some snowflake came back to him and said, oh, you shouldn't be sort of saying stuff like that. Fauci is a really great guy, basically, is what this person was saying. And then Musk went back to him and said, yeah, right. Well, first of all, he supposedly, well, there's no supposedly in what he said, but I guess I've got to say supposedly, lied to Congress. And also he was involved with a certain illegal technology, the first two words of which are gain of. So you know what I'm talking about. And that a lot of people think is what actually created the lurgy. So he was saying basically Fauci was involved with that. And it's not like Elon Musk is going to be sitting there with a glass of vino, half drunk, and deciding, oh yeah, I'll get on Twitter and make some controversial statements, is it? He's not going to be doing that, because bearing in mind that he's the richest bloke in the world and he's got a lot to lose, he has to tread very carefully when it comes to things like slander, libel and all of that, and because he's going to get sued big time if there's even the slightest doubt that, you know, what he's saying isn't true. So you can bet your life that far from just being a random tweet, it's probably highly strategized, and every single one of his tweets is gone over by about probably 10 top lawyers before it actually goes out onto Twitter. So he's not going to make statements like that if he hasn't got, you know, the facts and the evidence to back it up. So I thought that was very, very interesting, and you just wonder what he's got, really. I know a lot of people in the truth and freedom movement don't trust Elon Musk, and the jury is out, as far as I'm concerned, on him as well. Time will tell, I guess, if he's a good guy or a bad guy, and if he's true to his word and he starts revealing all sorts and it all turns out to be true, and a lot of people end up in very, very hot water. I guess, you know, I may well have my mind changed about him, but yeah, we will see.
Okay, just back home for a bit of lunch, and one more thought to round off today's little collage of thoughts. And this isn't going to make you very happy at all. In fact, it's going to make you pretty angry, I would have thought, if you're a pet lover. Now, the latest nonsense from the Whiskey Echo Foxtrot is because of concerns over their carbon paw print, thanks to all of the meat they eat. You know how the Whiskey Echo Foxtrot don't like meat eaters. Well, it seems that extends to animals now as well as humans. So what they want you to do is to go and get your sort of lovely little fluffy cat or your sort of beautiful dog and no, and I'm not joking, that is actually what they are saying. Unbelievable, isn't it? And it's almost like, isn't it? It's almost like there's something going on with that organisation. Someone in there saying, yeah, let's just go and make ourselves as unpopular as possible. Or even more what it's like. Now, not that I'm going to condone this sort of behaviour whatsoever, not at all, but it's almost like someone sneaked their way into Klaus's office, put a gun against his head and said, right, Klaus, we're going to have a bit of fun. What we're going to do is you're going to read out these proclamations, and of course the whole purpose of them will be to totally discredit the WEF. And I don't know, it'd be things like, let me see, you'll own nothing and be happy. You'll eat insects and no meat whatsoever. Oh, and how about this little gem? You'll be confined to your home and just the area within 15 minutes of your home, and you won't be allowed to travel anywhere else away from that area. And finally, yeah, we'll just get everybody to kill their beloved pets. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll make the WEF completely and utterly discredited and unpopular. And I mean, honestly, and it is a wonder that anyone pays that organisation any attention. They've, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as many people are concerned, they are completely and utterly discredited. And I think really the only reason why they have got credibility is because so many people out there just don't know about them at all, or they don't know what their true agenda is. But this should certainly wake a lot of people up, especially when you consider how many pet lovers there are out there. It's going to anger them, I'd have thought, anger them big time. And I'd have thought if there's one group of people you don't want to anger, it is pet lovers. Anyway, gonna leave it there. Back tomorrow. Tim from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching.